to this edition. So today is March 9th. A year ago, March 11th, so give or take a day or two, that was our first presentation. And so yeah, so it's been a year since we started this Tech Ubuntu Hive meetup group, and we've done countless presentations, and you know, we've learned a lot, doing these presentations. Some days we've had late nights, early mornings to get the presentation ready. So yeah, we wanted to say thank you for everyone who's been coming to this presentation since day one, and everyone who had offered to present throughout the year. So I would say Achille, Kofi, Isiaka, they've all presented since the first time we did it. And yeah, so I wanted to say thank you. Wanted to celebrate our first year, and looking for more years to come, and more presentations, and more learning, and more sharing. So
yes,
happy birthday.
Thanks. I don't know, Ben, if you want to add something else.
Well, I mean, I'm very happy that I mean, a year passed by. It was very quick. I didn't even realize it until I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. So and the group is growing. We have more and more people signing up, becoming members. There's still a lot of work to do to to accommodate the community even more, so that people can easily get help prepping for presentations if they want to present, or even consuming the information which we all share, like in between the meetups. So I'm very, very happy for that. And then, yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah. So before we start again, we have another little surprise. So because it's our first year, typically the birthday people get a present, but but today again, because it's our first year, and if it turns out that a year later the presentation is not done by me or Ben, it luckily fell on Achille this time. Sorry, Kofi, you were very close. So so Achille gets a present. So he's gonna get a Amazon gift card sent to him. Let me stop presenting this and then present the gift card. So Achille is gonna get an Amazon e-gift card to his email address right after this talk, because he's talking today. So I'm actually get $50 from the Tech Ubuntu Hive. You can use it to buy
that's
books,
nice.
T-shirts, whatever you want, man. So
thank you.
Yeah, so this is your luck. So we'll see who's gonna present next year. That should be around maybe March 11th or March 9th, something like that. So yeah. All right. So yeah, that's it. Thank you again. And we have a nice talk today by Achille. Yeah. And again, thanks for coming and enjoying and supporting us. Yeah. And again, if you want to present, feel free to let us know. We'll find some time and we'll help you prep to get it done. All right. Thank you for the. I'm gonna start presenting, and Achille, you can get going.
Okay. Let's start. Share my screen. So today's presentation is about I come up with this idea because sometimes we know how to I want to take the graphs to know how how the tool works. So, and if you're looking for a new job, new opportunity, you can present this to your to the employer to see, oh, I'm doing this, but this is my own project. And you can talk about the tool you use and the service you use in AWS. For example, I just choose AWS, and I choose one tool like Terraform to present today. That's why I come with this idea. It is basically to show people, and also it's to show people how to use, even you don't know how to compute, even you don't know how to use the tool, you can still present, you can still you can still do a resume online by following some steps. So it's not like, I just want to demystify the things. That's why I came up with this idea. I don't know if I am making it clear, of if there is any question for now.
No, you can go.
Okay, so the first thing, I tried to split this presentation in some part, in 3 parts, or 3 or 2 parts. The first part is gonna be to deploy a static web page with my resume. It's gonna be, I will show you, and it's gonna be step by step, and it's pretty straightforward. You just have to, it's gonna be on the console, and on the AWS console, and it's gonna be you just have to click, and step by step, if you follow all the steps, you will have a resume ready. But of course, we have before that, we have to do some work. Before, you have to have some HTML, some HTML content, some JavaScript, and some CSS. This is the basics. This is the things you need to be able to deploy your web page. So that I'm gonna show. We're gonna start with this part. This is the manual work, and in the second part, we're gonna do it with Terraform. So Terraform basically is a tool to automate and manage the infrastructure. So the first part is gonna be I'm gonna do everything manual, create my resources manually, and the second part, I'm gonna try to do it to automate it. I will not have to check in the console where to click and where to push the button to my infrastructure to run. So the first part is a beginner friendly. Anybody can do it. Beginner free, it's really beginner friendly. But if you miss one step, if you miss one step, it's gonna be hard to debug it. And the second part, it's little to more advanced, but you can use it to deploy on a lot of platforms. Even it's not only in AWS, but in Azure and in Google Cloud Provider. So that's basically what we're gonna do today. So to start, so you will need to have a GitHub account. But this part, it's for, if it's for web page, simple web page, you don't really need this one. It's up to you, because you can always, because it's for you, it's your resume. So you don't need, if it depends on you, because this one, the GitHub, it's for, as I say, the GitHub, it's for collaboration. So if you can do it, or you can keep it like this. This one is not it's optional. You need this one, Visual Studio Code, or another tool editor to write your code. And of course, you need AWS account, and Git it's to work on your local machine to push your code. So next gonna be the deployment step. If you want to build your resume, you will need an HTML file, a CSS file, and a JavaScript. Then after that, you're gonna deploy on AWS S3 and configure it. So those parts I'm gonna show you like hands-on. It's better than talking. So I don't know if there is any question at this point. Turn on my camera.
So far, so good.
So far, okay. So, and sorry for my French English, for my French accent.
I didn't know you had an accent, man. I don't hear it.
Okay. So
Actually, I have a quick question. Let's go.
Mhm.
I see you logged in as a root user. Do you have to do this using root user or IAM user?
No, I for the sake of this, for the sake of the presentation, like user, other it's required to do it like my, but I said this is only my own resume to give my permission. It's more easy for I will not work some field. That's why. Otherwise, like for sure, use like AMI user to permission. Yes, the less permission for people, but I'm just doing for myself. So
Thanks.
okay. So
Yeah, sorry to jump in.
Mhm.
I'll share the links for the audience, I'll share the links in the chat so you can follow along with what Ashley is showing.
So yes, now, so I log into my console. What I was trying to do, like I was about to log in another, but this one is fine too. So I log in this console. So what I want to do, I have to first create an extra bucket. So extra bucket is like where I'm gonna put all my files. It's where I'm gonna put all my files. So let's get started. So as I said, it's pretty straightforward. You just have to depend. You can do it here or just type here S3 and choose bucket. Oh, sorry about that. Like, hold on. No, I want to. It's okay. What's going on? Okay. So, okay, let's start. So now when you try to create the bucket, so it's gonna be like this. Okay. So first you give it a name, then you scroll down, and because everybody have to access it, because it's like your bucket is supposed to be private, but you want to show to people, so you have to deselect this one. And of course Amazon gonna ask you like why, because like it's not like something you have to do, it's not something you usually do, so it's gonna state a warning. So you got to, yes, I acknowledge, because like you want your website to be visible. And also because you leave everything as it is, you don't change anything, and you create a bucket. I'm just making sure I don't forget something. Yes.
I have a quick question.
Mhm.
So the reason why you made the bucket private, is it because you're building like a resume that's going to be public? Or if, for instance, I have like a website, I assume I don't want people to be able to go and just browse all the files, right? In that case, I keep the bucket private, or I have to make
Yes,
it
for
public?
example, if you for example, if you use your S3 bucket to store some data, some sensitive data for another project, you don't want people to get in your extra bucket, right?
Correct.
Yes. So, but this one is like in this project I don't have a back end. It's just front end. So it's just the web page. So no, even, yeah, like you cannot like enter in my bucket. even because like there is no backend, there is not like I don't know if I explain it well.
Okay.
No, I don't know if you get me. Like
I kind of get it, because the simplified version of my question is like, for a static website, do I keep the bucket private or I have to make it public? Like a
no,
general...
you have to make it public. You have
Okay.
to make it public.
So I get it now.
Because if it's not public, you won't be able to access it.
To access.
But can I make the bucket private and the files public?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
For
But I mean,
AWS,
go ahead. Sorry.
So what's the question? You make the bucket private
Private.
and the files public?
Correct.
Yeah, I don't think
I don't-
anyone can access the files.
Yeah.
So the bucket is the container, right? Is the folder.
Okay.
But if you make the bucket public, you can make some of the files private, and still people will not have access to those files, I think.
Okay. Because I'm using something like it's like a S3 compatible service, Wasabi, right? So let's suppose I'm trying to share a PDF. I keep the bucket private, but I make the file public. So you can access the file, but you can't just go and just browse it and just see the other files. So I wanted to see if it was the same logic we're supposed to use when we're approaching this type of exercise.
I mean, I'm talking in general terms. I don't know AWS, but I believe if the bucket is private, then
Okay.
no matter what the permissions are for other files within, you'll not be able to have access.
Okay, that works.
bucket is at the top level.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay. After creating the bucket, you have to go to the property, and in the property you will change something. And so as you see, I didn't change nothing here on the property. So I went here to static web sub hosting, and I have to edit this one and enable it. The only thing I change here is it's here.
Question.
Mhm.
Question. The file name that you just entered, the index.html, can it be any other format like .php or
No, you have to, because you're gonna use it like here. I specifically use index.html because it's gonna point it. It's gonna looking for this one, for this file, and it's right there. This one is right there. In my resume, you see, it's gonna point. You're gonna looking for this one.
Okay.
But if you, I guess, if you, he has to be like, even if you give another name, you have to be specific. You have to find this name. I don't know if it's clear. I don't know if I'm making myself clear.
So the index file here, the name and format should match what you enter in.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, Now, so where so we are so we start with, now we finish with property. So you have to go to like permission, and permission, you will have to change something on the permission to be, and I'm gonna have to share this one, otherwise I'm gonna be like, yes. Okay. So basically, this policy is to allow me like to read the extra bucket object, to read everything in it. Because if you don't give this permission, it's not going to be able to look at it. So, and then you have to save the changes.
So so that I understand. So you're saying that this policy helps anybody have access to the bucket because you're building a static website.
Exactly.
That's how I should understand this. Okay.
Yes.
Bucket name maybe.
Yeah. That's why.
Isn't like 12 supposed
Yeah.
to be the resume name?
Yes, you're right. Okay, right.
Yeah, I think it's because you have an extra line when you paste. You can paste it and then remove the extra line.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Also the extra
Okay,
space.
space. Yes.
Yes, space,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Let's see. Let's try. Why it's still okay? Okay. Let's see how it is used. So now, if I make a recap, so we start with the property. So we just enable this one. Then we go to the permission, and you give like you give the permission to everybody to see what we have in the extra bucket. So then the next step, we're gonna upload the field. We're gonna upload our code in the extra bucket, in this bucket. That's gonna be the next step. So I want to show. I only want to show something like in what I upload is like those ones. I upload like my index.html, like the index.html is I write a code, but I'm not gonna lie, I use ChatGPT to help me because I'm not good at it at all. So to build my resume and to help me with the script to help me with the script and the CSS, the styles is for making more nicer, and the JSON file, I see the JSON file, the JavaScript, it's for more to make it more dynamic. So this is what I upload here, and here I use some icon and some stuff. So this is basically what I upload, and I'm gonna click upload everything. And
Can you I don't know if you talked about that already, but can you tell us again, like what is a static website?
oh, okay. A static website is basically how can I explain this one? Static website. It's a web page like that doesn't have like a back end. So basically it's just a simple web page. I don't like.
So you mean like you don't have like a database to pull information from? It's just like HTML pages and stuff and JavaScript.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't have like. Yes, I don't have like some. I don't have like there is nothing behind. It's
like
just the information.
calls.
Yes,
Okay.
there's nothing behind the scene.
Oh, okay.
Usually, when you build a web application, there is some data, there is a lot of other process. But on this one, it's only whatever is here. It's only that we're gonna be. Will be on the web page. There is no.
That's probably why you're able to use the S3 bucket as your, website.
Website.
To deploy the website.
Hosting.
Basically. Okay. Hosting. Yes.
Hosting.
Thank you.
So now. I don't like. I'm looking for something because if you okay. So after doing this, you just have to come here, and I guess I hope it's gonna work. Let's see. That's the beauty. Yeah.
It's not opening up. What's the?
Mhm. Yeah, I'm trying to.
You have,
Yeah.
I think you have a nested folder. That's probably why. You might want to move the files one level up. Mhm.
Okay, hold on. What you? Which one?
Yeah.
The-
Don't you want to put the files in this at this level, or you want to keep it in my resume folder?
I want to keep it in my resume folder.
Okay.
Okay.
Then the resource probably has to. The permission for the resource has to change, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Instead of my resume online.
That is resume online. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna. Okay. Yes.
So you can either move it one folder up or change the resource
Yes.
policy.
That's what I'm gonna do. Okay. So I'm not gonna click it. I'm gonna choose delete. Let's do this one. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So so if I recap, so when I upload the file, I use I grab all the folder and it wasn't matching with my permission, the permission I gave in here. So this is it. But we can refine, but we can. This one is not like secure and it's not nice. There is more steps to make it like the domain name. But I'm gonna show this one like later because I want to move because this part is like more. How can I say that? This part is really more manual, but I want to jump in the Terraform stuff. But if there is any question over here, I can definitely give some answer.
I noticed that it's really tedious. It's really easy, error prone. You can make mistakes really easily, right? Like you forget like one, something, and then yeah. So.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say here. Like the manual process, if you miss something, sometimes it's really hard to debug it. It's really hard to debug it. So this one there too. Is there you have any question?
Yeah, maybe you want to share the link with us so we can click see it.
So Can you hear me? I have a question.
Yes.
So with this static page, how much will
Yeah,
that cost on AWS?
Yeah, this is a good question. Like if you're still on the free tier, right? This one is like nothing or less than $1 each month. Because and also it depends on how many people gonna hit your this one. How many people gonna hit your website, your domain, yes. And for now I'm on the free tier, so right now it's gonna be like free for me for 1 year.
Okay.
Yes. And the S3 bucket doesn't cost that much, because like as we see, it's like the weight is like less than one meg.
Okay.
And also, I want to add that AWS charges more for bandwidth versus storage. So to keep the files there, it's pretty much free, especially for static sites. But if you hold like larger files like music and they become popular with a lot of downloads, it's going to cost you because of bandwidth.
Juste un petit commentaire. Fiston, si tu as des questions en français, tu peux intervenir en français.
Okay.
Le présentateur peut répondre en français aussi, pas seulement en anglais. Donc, tu peux demander des questions en français si s'il y a quelque chose que tu n'as pas saisi.
Yes, that's true.
Merci beaucoup, ingénieur Baron. Jusque-là, je suis en train de suivre parce que j'ai commencé déjà à voir, mais une fois, je trouve qu'il y a une anomalie. Bon, jusque-là, si je vois qu'il y a quelque chose qui me passe, je vais vous... Mais j'avais voulu que vous puissiez me dire les gros. Quel est l'objectif que nous poursuivons?
Okay. Donc, I'm going to try to explain. I'm going to say it in French. It's going to be more easier for me. And maybe Aziz will translate in English. So, ce que j'essaie de faire là, c'est de mettre mon résumé en ligne, mon CV en ligne. C'est ce que j'essaie de faire. Et j'essaie de faire ça de deux manières. D'une manière manuelle, c'est-à-dire en utilisant AWS. Et j'essaie de faire ça. Après, je vais faire ça avec Terraform. Donc, c'est ce que j'essaie de faire. C'est ce que je suis en train d'essayer de faire. Je ne sais pas si je me fais comprendre. C'est ça l'idée de base.
Ah, d'accord. Voilà. D'accord, ça va. J'ai compris. Merci.
Yeah, so vas-y.
So he was asking like, what is the main things for doing this one? Like that I said, like I want to put my resume online using like the manual method, like by going to the AWS console and like clicking and to make it work. And the second part, I'm gonna use like Terraform to deploy it, to do the same thing, but not as much like process for like this one. So basically, it's gonna be manual vs Terraform, infrastructure as a code, like Terraform.
Juste un petit commentaire. À part l'aspect de ces cas spécifiques qu'il est en train de démontrer, l'idée est de montrer comment est-ce qu'on peut utiliser le concept de infrastructure comme code. Auparavant, les infrastructures étaient seulement des choses qui sont des hardware qu'on pouvait seulement configurer de façon mécanique. Maintenant, tu es en mesure de construire ton infrastructure en écrivant du code. Alors, Terraform est l'un de ces outils-là qui te permet de faire ça. Donc, tu peux construire tout un cluster de serveurs et les déployer à n'importe quel moment et à les détruire à n'importe quel moment en écrivant le code. Donc, Terraform, c'est l'un de ces outils là-bas et il est en train de démontrer maintenant dans le cas du déploiement d'un site web. Comment est-ce qu'on peut le faire de façon manuelle Et comment est-ce qu'on peut utiliser Terraform pour automatiser ce processus là-bas. Donc, c'est ça l'idée derrière la présentation d'aujourd'hui.
En tout cas, merci. Merci.
So, anybody else? Oh, thank you, Baron. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Baron.
Welcome, Chef.
So, next step now. So, there is no question on this one, right? On the deploying, like deploy manual.
Well, it's good. We can proceed. It's good.
Okay. Next. So now we are on the part 2. So it's gonna be like we're gonna use this. We're gonna make this part. So try to. So now I just went in my command prompt, and I'm in the where my project is. So my project is my GitHub repository, my GitHub folder, and resume, and my resume. So because I want to deploy, because the first thing we did, it was on AWS. So I'm gonna deploy in another provider. It's gonna be other provider is gonna be Azure. So we can deploy, and after that, the step 3 is gonna be like you're gonna deploy in any cloud provider. So I just pick up Azure because I already work with AWS. So I want to show another provider. So that's so easy. First step, I'm gonna try to log in my Azure account. Yes. So I want to show, like, as you can see here, there is nothing. There is no machine. Say no. There is no infrastructure here. Like you can see on my dashboard. So nothing is here. So we're gonna start now. the step one. So I just want to show, like, I just want to talk about a little bit about Terraform. So Terraform is to automate and manage infrastructure. So we have to provide, we have to say to Terraform where to create the resources. So basically, it's tell someone to do like whatever you want to do, and it's declarative. So you don't have to say, oh, do this one first, do this one first. Terraform will know how to manage the infrastructure. You have to, it's declarative. I don't know if it's clear, if there is any question right now before I run those commands.
Is it free?
Terraform is free.
Okay.
Terraform is open source, yes.
Yeah, maybe Achille, can you describe what's inside the file?
Okay, so what's inside the file? Okay, so this one is, I'm gonna try to, as I said, I'll try to make the code like clear, and so I'm gonna, this first part is to tell Terraform, is to tell what version I have to use for Terraform. So version 2 and superior, like, and version 2 and superior. Here, I'm trying to say to Azure, to what provider I'm gonna use. So right now here, I'm gonna say provider is gonna be Azure, and the syntax have to be like this: Azure machine. So, and you can, I share the, I think they share the link in the chat, so you can take a look at it for the documentation. Also, I will pass the variable where I need my code, where I need my infrastructure to be deployed. It's gonna be in US. And you have to give some name, some storage account. So where, like, what we did in AWS was S3 bucket. And this basically is the S3 bucket for AWS. And here you have to have a group name, the resources for the group name, and the profile. The profile for CDN, this is basically where my website gonna point. So this, like, this is the endpoint of my website, of my static website. This is the entry point, and this is the endpoint. I don't know if it's clear, or
If you can explain further on the entry and then the endpoint.
okay.
Is the entry like the index.html?
Pardon me?
The entry point, is it the index.html file?
Yes, I'm not sure about it. Like, I'm not sure about it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, okay, let me, because.
Are you asking which entry point? Endpoint or entry point?
First of all, let's talk about the entry point. What are the entry points here?
I'm having a hard time seeing the entry point. Kofi, can you restate your question? Like,
all right, let me get off my headset. Can you hear me now? Yeah, I just wanted to understand what the entry point is here, and also the endpoint.
Oh, okay. Maybe I can jump in. Like what Achille highlighted, those are some variables. You know, for example, in the case of S3, like the bucket had to have a name, for example. it had to have like different values, you know, that actually named directly in the on the AWS dashboard, you know, like to name the different resources it was going to use for the site. So in Terraform, it's similar. Every time you see a variable, it's to name the different resources that will be employed, right? And then once they are declared, the resources start to be assigned. You know, like the resources block always start with the word resource, like on line 44 or line 50, right? So as far as the entry point, basically when all of the variables are collected into a resource, you know, that will define the, if you want the buckets and at the same time the CDN on Azure, and then that's gonna be the entry point. You know, so the index file will be, you know, like the entry point if you want for the static website. So. Yeah, actually you can continue. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So right now I'm just in the the folder where I have the code, like, so the thing you have to do, like, after writing the code, so after writing the code, right now the part's gonna be like very easier for us. It's the hardest part is to write this code, and as Benjamin explained, for the file, you're just gonna do like right now. Now you just have like 4 steps. The first step is gonna be Terraform init.
Is it able to increase this font a little bit? It's a little small.
Yes.
Thank you.
The fine or more? Oh, no change.
In Windows, is it Control Plus?
Yeah, I tried, but
It doesn't work.
Definitely I'll be looking for a map now.
Yeah, here it is. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So the first command was Terraform init, right? So it start initializing the back end, and like it started initialize the infrastructure. So then I'm gonna do Terraform. So after the first command is Terraform init, the next command should be Terraform plan. So all the time when I try to learn Terraform, so I was like, okay, if I don't want to forget, I just remind myself it's iPad. So init plan, apply, and destroy if you want to destroy. So next gonna be Terraform plan. And we're gonna wait a little bit. So any questions right now?
Yeah, maybe tell us like what the plan means, like different commands. Like you said, iPad, right? Init, plan, apply, destroy. Yeah.
Init is like let's talk about it like a factory. Init you will say, oh, okay, start the engine, for example. Start the engine, and it's gonna he will state what kind of engine you want. It's like hybrid, or it's gas. So initially is like initially is everything, but it's not gonna do anything. You will just state what kind of material you're gonna use to build your, for example, your car. So it's gonna be gas. It's gonna be, the engine is gonna be hybrid. It's gonna be gas, or gonna be like whatever. Then when you do plan gonna, whatever you can customize. So you will see, for example, the plan gonna be like this. If you want, for example, the inside your car, you will see it's leather, or it's normal. You need like everything you can customize. It's gonna be on the plan. I don't know if I make it clear.
Yeah, I think so. So if I understand, like innate is kind of like, getting everything ready for your infrastructure. So it initializes like, whatever you need, like your permissions, all the files, reads everything, right? And then the plan looks like it's the, what it's going to do, because it hasn't created it yet. It just says,
Exactly. It doesn't. Yes.
It just says, hey, I'm gonna create these resources. I can see at the bottom, plan 4 to add. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And then okay. And then I think there's
so you can see. So now that's what he gonna create. And he said, like, as you can see, he planned to add, he planned to add, and now he didn't do nothing yet. So now the first step was iPad. So I did the initialize, then I did the plan. Now I'm gonna apply. I'm gonna tell him, so yes, do it. And here the good thing is, if it's failed here, so that means you have to rewrite, you have to check your code. You don't have to go, you just have to check here your code before going further. Because if it's not going to do something unless everything is correct here. So when I hit apply, he tried to apply, and after that he asked me, like, Terraform, I have to say yes, or I was about to, I can pass one comment saying auto approve, and it's not gonna ask me, like. So what I want to see is the beauty of this one. It's something like this. One word. So now you can, if I as you see, like 5 seconds ago, there was no like nothing. Now by hitting this point, it create everything, like it create everything for me. I don't have to, all the permission was already given. Like I don't have to do nothing no more. So I'm gonna reduce this one. So the apply was complete. So 4 resources added, and it's okay. And this is the storage account name. So I'm gonna just reduce this one, and this is the endpoint. So here now the manual things I have to do here, like I did on the AWS account, I have to click here and add the files. So it's in Azure, it's you have to go here and click blog, and this is the part for the web, and here and add the file, upload, and I'm not gonna do the same mistake. I'm not gonna upload those. Upload. Yes, so as you can see, it work like magic. Less step, like of course you have to write the code, but it's less hectic by you don't have to click everywhere. It's less there is no that much to do relatively. Any question?
I don't know. I don't see any questions, but more of a comment. So this one took you, I would say, what, 15 minutes to do,
Yes,
compared to the other one who took you maybe an hour.
Yes.
You know? So this one was much faster if the code is
Much-
ready, of course.
The code is ready. Yes, the code is ready. So you have to take time to run the code, but the deploying is more easier. And once you have the code, so for example, I didn't need to worry about something. Just write the. I didn't need to worry about like the infrastructure. I didn't have to like to go in the console and look, because here the console are different. So from AWS and from Azure. So if I want to come here and try to know how it works, it's gonna be hard for me. But this one is like more easier. And also, if I want to delete, I just have to type one single command to delete all my resources. That Terraform create.
I have a few questions.
Yes.
So the first one, so I assume you had to install Terraform on your machine, right? Could you quickly like show what you install in order to make it work?
Okay. So I did it like in the here. I just make it Terraform. I just follow the step. So just did Terraform CLI.
Okay, I see. It's like a CLI that you install.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I just installed the Terraform. I just installed Terraform like Terraform
Okay,
CLI.
that works. My other question is like, what happens when you're trying to update the site? What's the process for that?
So yes, we're gonna go to that. Like, okay.
Okay.
So, but this one is like I just show Terraform because right now there is not like control version. So if you want to deploy again, you have to destroy and redo it again, right? So it's not like I didn't automate the process when, for example, when you change something. So let's say you have another certification and you want to upload your resume. You have to write the code again and redo the same process. So but the beauty is like you already have your code. Now you don't have to click again and destroy something. You just have to write on your file and like upload it again. But basically you can do with GitHub and use like some GitHub action to deploy it. No, not yeah, GitHub action to deploy it if you want. This is the right question, or is that your question? Did I answer your question?
So yes, so we have to.
No. Repeat your question.
That was trying to understand the process when we're trying to update the site. So assume you say that we have to connect to GitHub, right?
Yes, for version control. So for example, if I want to, like, let's say I want to update something here, I will have to do the same process because I have it in GitHub, but I didn't automate the process to, when I change something in this file, to be like automated. So I have to redo this process again. But there is a way with GitHub action or with some other tools, free tools to do this. Right now, if I have to do this, I have to redo the process.
Okay.
If I can,
So is that something we're going to cover?
Maybe.
Points, or?
Yes, maybe. Yes. I'm gonna try. I will try.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, what Achille is showing right now is the delivery part. But I think what you were asking is for the integration
part. Yes.
Okay.
The CI is showing the CD part. So that's it.
So this one is done. So I'm gonna try to do Terraform destroy.
So as a follow-up question, Terraform doesn't do versioning. Is that correct?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so you still have to use GitHub to do your versioning, and then Terraform to just deploy it.
Exactly.
Okay.
To create the infrastructure.
To create the, yes, exactly. Because Terraform is basically to create the infrastructure. Yes. Thank you for
resources. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So your buckets, your CDN, your VMs, anything that's infrastructure.
So I keep it because I keep it simple because if you want, for example, this one is only a single web page, but imagine you have a big project, so you will need some VPC, you will need some EC2, you will need way more infrastructure, and if you want to do it with the console, it's gonna be really hard or let's say impossible to manage.
Yeah. So in that case, what do you use to do the code deployment? Is it you just do the upload, or you can just do so Terraform creates the infrastructure, right?
Infrastructure.
What pushes the code to those storage areas?
So for example, if I have another project, so I can use, for example, another tools to integrate everything. I can use, for example, the CI for the integration. You mean I can use, for example, Jenkins. Jenkins is another tool where I can set up Terraform and other tools. So when I push my code in the repository in GitHub, for example, when I push my code, it's gonna automate all the tasks. I don't know if that's because Terraform is basically to run the infrastructure.
Okay. Yeah, I've used Jenkins before, so I get it. Okay.
Yeah, maybe I can clarify quickly. So Terraform is to set up the infrastructure. So in a real scenario, that's where it's not just like a static website, but it's an application that needs to be updated. The infrastructure is not going to get recreated every time. It gets set up once with Terraform, and then there's another process like Jenkins or something equivalent to actually update the application. But in this case, we are using a a small feature of Terraform, to force it to upload the static site as if it was part of the infrastructure. So, yeah. Yeah, so it does it, in this case, it does it in one go. It creates the infrastructure and uploads the site in one go. So.
Okay, I think I start understanding now. So just make sure we're on the same page. Terraform is something you'll use, let's say, in the process at the beginning, right? You create your infrastructure, and if you're trying to update your code, you use other tools. So that's not something like you'll be using every day or like every week, right?
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
So, so again, for example, for some of my sites, I'm packaging my applications with Docker, right?
Okay.
And I do the same abuse with Terraform to deploy, because the Docker image is static. Once it's built, it doesn't change. It's frozen, right?
Okay.
And I use a similar technique with Terraform to treat the Docker images as just infrastructure and deploy. Right. So
Okay.
similar, but in reality, like for big projects, like in enterprise, those are two separate processes. Terraform runs once the infrastructure is provisioned. Now, then there's another process to update the applications. So.
Okay. Thanks.
Tristan, there is une question.
I was just going to add to what Ben said. So,
non, je n'ai pas de questions jusque-là. Ça va.
Okay.
Merci.
Am I speaking?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kofi.
Go
Okay. Yeah. So in an enterprise, which means you have different environments, right? A company may have 10 environments. So that's where Terraform, you can use Terraform on a daily basis to provision environments or create infrastructures on those environments.
Yeah. So the typical case for Terraform in the enterprise, right? During development, there will be like a dev environment, right? Which requires like less resources since it's not under production load. And then there might be like a
test environment
for the business to basically verify, right? So the admin is not gonna do all that work to set up the environment manually every single time. They're gonna write the Terraform script once, and then decide that Terraform should only set up a couple of machines for dev. But for test, there might be 4. But in production, the same code, the value can be changed to set up like 200 machines. So
yeah,
using the same Terraform script. So.
And then in future, once the infrastructure changes, the Terraform code will also be updated, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Terraform has a process to every time it's changed, it has a process to compare what it deployed, what it set up previously versus the new change, and then it's gonna calculate the diff and then take an action. So sometimes the action might be to destroy the existing resource and replace it with something else. Some other times it might just be to update the resource without destroying. So
okay, cool.
So right now I'm trying to destroy and we're gonna talk about something else. So as you can see in the first step, I hard coded it's hard coded. So this is not recommended when you want to do something in Terraform. You have to pass some variables. For example, like if I share this one, it's gonna create only me can use this one. I want to say so, and it's not like recommended to pass to show your, like, for example, your storage name. So you can, if it's like, for this one, it's fine because it's my only a web page. But if you want to use it for something else, you can't like you have to pass some variable because you're working in GitHub. So if I push this code in GitHub, so everybody can see my storage account, or someone can get in. So I have to make it like, I have to make it with some variables. I don't know if I make it clear. So I'm gonna try to deploy the same things, but I'm not gonna my variables gonna be on my site and nobody, and now I have to pass it. So I don't know if it's clear.
Yeah. Basically, the previous step, the actual values, like the names of the resources and all that, and the potentially like sensitive information was hard coded in the script. So now this step, all the hard coded values will be extracted. They're not gonna be part of the code that gets pushed to GitHub, for example. So, and they can be injected right when we invoke Terraform.
So the variables will be in its own file, and then you inject that file.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So now, so the first one I tried to do, I did in one file. Now I try to like, usually how Terraform code is right is like, you have to have the main, like the main, you're gonna state what you want to do. So it's gonna create a resource group, and it's gonna create like the storage. I'm gonna say what you have to do. It's gonna create the storage, and the main is gonna say what to do. And now, for example, here is the provider. So the provider is what GCP, what cloud you have to use. Here I can say like it can be AWS, or like I choose Azure again. So it can be AWS or GCP. The provider is like the cloud, the Google Cloud provider, who is where it's gonna be, where I'm gonna store. And the TF is like, here is my secret, like my secret stuff. So, but I'm showing to you because it's a demo. So the storage name, and you have the resource, you have the CDN profile and CDN endpoint. And here you have the variables. So basically, when you want to do a Terraform file, it's have to have like four components: the main, the provider, and the variable. And if you want to pass some secret, you have to make like another file secret and add it to Git in your, like this. If you push the code in the repository, you are not going to see that in the repository. So this part is more like when you work now when you work with multiple people, and if you want people to collaborate with you. So sensitive information you will keep it in the secret, and your code will be better, if I can say that, like this.
Actually, can you show one example of the variable and how the main also looks like for that variable? So, for example, the storage account name. How is the definition looks like in the main?
In the main, here you have it. Right? You mean like so for example, in the main, let's say create a resource for, so the name gonna be like this, and here we have the variable. So the variable is the name here. No, sorry, name. Sorry. Storage account name here. So what I did, so I separate. So the main TF, okay. The main TF gonna state what I need. So it's basically like my dashboard. This is my dashboard. Create the resource, create the storage, and create the CDN profile. And now I'm gonna tell him, here is the variables. Here you have what you need to complete the task I will ask you to do.
Yeah, but the variables are empty, if you notice.
Yes, the variables are empty. So, but the variables are here. Or is that what you mean? I don't get your question.
Yeah, so the variable declarations are empty, and then the actual values are contained in the secret.
Secret
Okay.
one, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
That's what I wanted to see. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, so you can see how the like storage account name on line 2, like the names match what's inside the variables declaration.
Okay. Got it.
So now you can see here, there is nothing, nothing is here no more. So the story is complete. So we're gonna take a look at it. Now everything is destroyed, so you cannot see nothing no more. And here, when you go to the dashboard, like basically, like there is still something. Yeah, so yeah. I don't know why, but it's destroyed, so I don't know why it's still here. But as you can see, there is nothing. I don't know why it's still.
Yeah, sometimes the providers take time to
Take
clean.
to clean up. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. So now as you can see, there is nothing here. So here. So we're gonna try to do the same things. We are going to try to do the same thing by by passing some variables. So some.
Sorry, I didn't see the secret file. Is it .secret or is just secret?
No, you what you mean? I name it like just secret, but he has to be like TF vars, like
Okay.
TF. Yes, the extension you can name it like whatever you want. It can be ABC, but he has to be like TF vars, the extension. The
Right.
most important is the extension.
Okay.
So let's yeah. So we're gonna try to do the same things.
Yeah, that's another iPad.
I was gonna say that's the best acronyms so far. I haven't thought about, never thought about it. iPad before. That's awesome.
Yes. Yeah, iPad. So now, but as I said, like if you want to pass Terraform now, you have to pass the variables, because if you try to pass without the variable, because in here, oh, what I want to say, like Terraform will create something, but as you can see, there is no, he don't know where to find my variables. So here I'm gonna tell him Terraform initialize and look at on my secrets.tf, look at my variables here before to initialize. Otherwise, if I did it, it's gonna fail. It's gonna fail. So, and all the command I have to pass have to be like the first one we did, like Terraform init without passing this command. So because it was hard-coded, so everything was inside the code. And as I said, like this is not like something you have to do because sometimes you have some sensitive information. This is not something you have to do. In the like, if you collaborate with someone, you cannot like you cannot push your secret or your sensitive information. So now the Terraform init. So I'm gonna do now. The next step is Terraform.
Yeah, so it's like a second generation iPad.
Yes.
Is it plan first? Plan?
Oh yeah, yeah. Yes. So if I can make a quick recap, the first thing we did was we tried to use AWS to do the process manually. The second step we did with Terraform by hard coding the value. So now it's gonna be the Terraform plan with like I said, with all the things. Okay. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, I did Terraform. So I did 20 times. So while he's creating the resources, I'm gonna try, because it's gonna start to create the resources. So when he does that, I'm gonna try to recap to do a little recap. So we start with this one. We did a manual work. So we use like AWS to launch like the web page. Then we did it and the second things we did with Terraform by hard coding. So by hard coding, and now we are trying to pass some variable to do the same things. For the variables, it's more advanced because you keep your data in the proper way. Like this is now kind of professional environment. Here you can pass, like you can hard code it for yourself. Like if you don't like, or you can keep it for yourself. You don't have to push in GitHub. It's fine. But if you want to push in GitHub, you don't have to share your information. You don't have to share your information. You can pass the variable, it's gonna work. That's what I want to show. Someone can add something. So as you can see, he did the same things. So once again, if I want to, I just have to change account. Just have to come here and here.
So that's the part, that's the manual part about uploading the actual
Yes.
Okay.
assets, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the manual part. Like if he had a like an automated process, then as soon as the infrastructure was recreated, then it would have another automated process that would actually do the upload, basically.
Yes, and I'm gonna look at that.
So Terraform cannot upload assets or something like that?
I mean, it can. I think the next one is actually gonna have that.
Mhm.
Can,
Oh,
but
okay.
that's not the best way. It's what Ben was saying. It's more of a hack, really. That
Okay, I see. Yeah.
it's not the best way.
So it's better to use Terraform for the infrastructure and then use another tool for the deployment.
The deployment, yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't think Terraform can upload everything, if that makes sense. Like or deploy everything. I think it probably can do certain things, but in a more complex web application or infrastructure, or there are things that perhaps Terraform won't be able to upload or deploy.
Yeah,
It's limited.
I can give another scenario why it's not recommended. For example, if Terraform, you use Terraform to set up your SQL database, right? And then it's only set up for like to run on a small machine, and tomorrow you want to grow, and then you go ahead and give more memory and disk to that database in your Terraform config. What's gonna happen is that Terraform will calculate and see that the machine is too small. It will destroy it and then give you a new one. But the problem is your data will be
Your
gone,
data, yeah.
right? So that's why that's not recommended to do it unless the stuff you pass it is static. So,
Okay.
So why not do that? So now we can see the same result. So now we just pass. So the only difference with the step before was I didn't give like it was not hard coded. So I just give him the path to look my variables. So and it works. So now we're gonna try to do the last part now. I don't know, no question. There is no question, right?
No, so far everything is on point.
So far so good.
Okay. I'm gonna try to start soon. So we're gonna
Oh wow, another cloud provider. So we went from AWS to Azure to Google.
Google. So now this last part is like I just like we're gonna try on this one. So now the first step it was like AWS. We use AWS for manual. Then I tried to deploy it with Terraform using I deploy it on Azure using Terraform. Now the last part and the more advanced, it's like Terraform CDK conversion. I don't know if I mean it. Okay.
so what is Terraform CDK?
This is the question. So Terraform CDK, it's like Python automation. It's gonna if I can explain it, if I can explain it like this, it's gonna use Python library to deploy it in the cloud provider you choose, if I can say like this.
Yeah, so in a way, like the HCL syntax is not everyone's cup of tea, right? People might prefer like using actual code. I mean, code that they are used to. The HCL syntax is more like declarative, you know, so there's no good feedback. It either works or it doesn't. Whereas in code, you can address it just like regular code, but using a certain library, you know. So if you make syntax errors or combinations don't make sense, the code is actually gonna break and let you know, and you can fix it. So
Yeah, just to add to that too, like some, you could do in this particular examples we used, we did a lot of like plan and then apply, and it worked, right? But there's a lot of scenarios where you would do the plan, but then you do the apply and it bombs.
Right, and it's gonna fail. Yeah, it's gonna fail. Yes.
Yeah, and you wouldn't know what the issue is until you look at the logs, and sometimes even the logs, the error logs are not that helpful. Whereas if you use the CDK, like Ben was saying, there are people who prefer to use that to create the infrastructure still, so that when it's the same now as code, right? You have better feedback and better understanding of where your issues might be coming from.
Okay. So
Is this step 4?
yes, no, I didn't get in step 4 first. I have to what I did, because this one I just learned it like yesterday.
Yeah, not you have to clone it
Clone.
first.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Okay, let me go to this.
Yeah. So one quick comment, like most of the cloud providers, like at least the big three, they all have integrated shells. So it's possible to work directly in the shell that they provide. It's usually a proper Linux environment. I think in the case of Google, they are either using Ubuntu or Debian. So it's just a small machine they make available, and your account is already set up, with your keys and all that. So
Yeah, because I try to do it with Windows, and it's like for example, backspace, like forwards. It's more hectic with this one, because I think all the things now it's with Ubuntu. So when you work with Windows machine, you will face all the time some issues, like some issues with the script. So that's why I want to keep it like more simple. So
It looks like it's already there, maybe.
oh yeah. Hmm.
it looks like you're missing the CDK. Maybe.
Mhm.
Maybe you can try which CDK TF and see.
Purple, right?
I think you need to keep a virtual environment.
Huh? Let me try something. I don't need to init, but I'm gonna try to find. Oh. Am I in the right project?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yes.
looks like the CD is CDK. When you do which CDK does it do anything?
No. I think I was not in the right project. I was in another project.
Okay.
Yes. I think now it's gonna. Yeah. So now I'll just to yes. Yes. Let's see. Yes. See in step 4. Yes.
We may need to set up the virtual environment.
What you? Okay. To me.
LS. There's a command that Ben sent in the chat.
Okay.
You do that.
Oh.
No, I think now you have to set up. You have to sync it.
Why sync?
So you should go one level up, and then you can do right sync like this.
So it has to set up the virtual environment.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now you have to.
Step. I didn't write this first step. Yeah. So I'm gonna try.
Now you have to activate it.
It's still right activated, right?
I pasted it in the chat. Source activate like this.
There you go.
Okay, and then the last one is the CDKTF. You can paste it too, and then it should be good to go.
Should be installed, but yeah. Ben, do you want to explain maybe
Yes, it's better. Yes,
and
yes,
you
better.
actually
Because like I did it back home.
Okay, so let me see. How can I? Give me 1 second. I'll bring up my screen. 1 second.
and in the Terraform CDK, I think there are instructions for this too.
Give me a second. I'm just gonna grab the link real quick. Okay, so I'm briefly gonna share my screen just to walk you through it, and then I'll pass it back to Ashim. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what Ashil is doing at the moment, he's setting up the Terraform CDK. So like I was saying earlier, this Terraform CDK provides an alternate syntax for what we saw with the HCL files. So it has support for various languages, one of them being Python. So we're using the Python version right now. So the whole project is also set up as a Python project. So there's this PyProject file that defines the CDK libraries, the Terraform CDK libraries that we are going to use. So for that reason, as you saw, Ashil set up a tool called Rye, which is a tool to set up like a Python environment. And then he proceeded to activate that environment in his terminal, right? And then the next thing is that he has to run the actual Terraform CDK. And it's structured similar to what you saw in the HCL, except that it's Python code. So for example, you can recognize things like the buckets, the permissions for the IAM permissions for that bucket, right? And then when it's run, like we invoke this method that creates a bucket with the proper permissions. And then once we have the bucket in hand, we pass it to the upload method. And then this one is just gonna traverse the folder, like this one that contains the resume files. It's gonna traverse it and then upload all the files one by one to the bucket. And it's gonna also, while doing that, it's gonna guess the proper content type of the file and then assign it to it. Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll pass it back to Ashil, unless you have a question. No question? Okay. Okay, Ashil, you can continue.
So now that now everything is set up, I just have to run like now my CDK plan.
Maybe you have to go to step 4 first.
Oh, sorry. CD step. Yes, step 4 first. Yes. Yes.
The reason we have to go to step 4 is because the main file is actually in the step 4 folder. That's the main .tf is there. Actually, is it main?
Pardon me?
The main.py, my bad. Main.py.
Yeah.
Step 4 folder.
So while he's doing any questions right now, so I'm gonna try to explain right.
Looks like Google is slow today.
So Google did all the stuff. So he did the plan. So now I'm gonna apply. And
Is it me? But it looks like it didn't do anything.
Oh, I think we saw that yesterday. It's probably the full name.
No, the resources are still there, so we need to destroy and then recreate. That's all.
oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, you can go and see that they're there, but yeah, for the sake of this, we can destroy and recreate.
Yeah, it's better. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, this, but yeah. Try. Oh. No, I did a plan. No. I have to.
Like Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I did. I started applying nothing. There is nothing to apply. So I'm gonna destroy everything like to make it clear and yes. Okay. So Terraform plan for like it's gonna be what Terraform like it's Terraform plan, but in this case it's gonna be like CDK TF plan. Yeah. No, okay. So now. No output found.
No, it's fine. The buckets. I think if you go to the console,
Yeah,
then you search for buckets in the search bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be okay.
Storage. Yeah.
Storage, yes.
So AWS is S3, Amazon, Azure, I think it's Blob, right? If I'm not mistaken. And for Google, it's cloud storage.
Yeah, I think Azure it's blob storage.
Blob. Yes, it's blob. Blob.
Yeah.
Just go down, maybe.
So here, so one second. So as you can see, we upload everything. We didn't do nothing manual on this one. It's already upload all the file, and we are good to go if I click.
You're looking for the URL.
Yeah, so I'm looking for the
So if you go down to the index, yeah.
Next, yes. Yeah. Copy. And I will let you try. So now on this one, you see, you didn't do like nothing manual, but there was a lot of step on the background to be able to do that in the automated way. So yes, so if there is question, I will try to answer all the questions.
Do you think you can show like a side by side the CDK code and the Terraform code from step 3? So like the main.py and then the main.tf from 3 and
this is the main.tf, right?
yeah, so that's step 2. So I wanted the one from and then go to step 4. So that's the main.tf. Yeah, step 4. Yeah, that one. And then on the page there, you can go to the step 3. Wow, okay, that's so basically you want to show how let's say how the bucket is created. So first of all, you see the upload file is on the right side. That's how the files were uploaded automatically using the CDK. Yeah, but if you go down,
maybe actually, can you collapse the left side so that there's more space?
This one?
Yeah.
there you go. So go down a little. So yeah, go down a little bit. Keep going. Yeah, stop here. Stop here.
Yes.
Yep, too much. Yeah, that's good. Okay, and then on the left side, okay, so you can see if you compare on the left side the storage, yeah, that part there, and then on the right side, you can see it's pretty much the same variable, so the same configuration. So you're creating the buckets, right? You're providing the project ID, the location, the website, and then on the left side too, you're pretty much doing the same thing. Well, actually, on the left side, this is the configuration for Azure. So we want the configuration. So you're still in step 2. So you want to go into on the left side if possible. Go to step
step 3.
Step 3. On the left side, we run the main from step 3. Yep, yes, the main. Yeah, here it is. Yep, perfect. So
Well, I think it has to be in the providers folder.
yeah.
Is that okay?
In the provider.
Go to providers, there's a Google
Okay.
provider.
Yeah, okay, yes. So
Google-
this one.
Mhm.
No, Google
Google.
Okay, you need to, okay, main TF, yeah.
and main that.
That's perfect. So yeah, go down a little. Yeah, perfect.
Last one.
Yeah, so you see line 23 on the left side all the way to line 33. That's the configuration to create the bucket using the HCL, the Terraform configuration. And then on the right side, it's using the Python, which uses the CDK, I guess API, you can say. And then you can see it's basically the same variables you're passing. In one way, it looks, I would say, slightly simpler. On the left side, you just provide the name, the location, storage class, and force destroy. And then on the right side, it's you can see it's the same thing, but just in a different way. So that was kind of like the way to show one using the Terraform syntax, HCL syntax, and one using the CDK TF syntax or Python syntax.
Yeah,
Python syntax, yes.
we can also see the uploads on the left side. If you scroll
Oh
up,
yes,
right? And then we can compare it to the upload on the right side also.
that's up. That's at the top. Yes, from that you were asking about that the upload. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, now I can see it.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah, maybe actually can you scroll down a little bit so we see the whole. Yeah. No, you went too far. It's just to see the upload.
The upload, okay. Here you go. There you go. So here, this is basically where he upload everything. So the good thing with this one is like he can read all all your file and know how to store them in the cloud. If I can say like this, like easier, like easy part. I think that's it. Yeah. So that was that was like kind of okay. So
Do you wanna
I can
kind of like share your experience like going through this?
yeah,
like,
so
what you
going through
learned?
this. So basically, the first step, I thought it was about to be like easier because like I'd say, oh, I'm gonna just put my resume then, but then it was like when I was trying, the more difficulties come. So I don't know how many hours I spent. Like if you can see, like 4 days ago, like even yesterday, I was still working on it. So and the CDK part, I didn't know like how to do that. So I had like Ben and Aziz helped me to do it. Otherwise, like it was a little bit hectic. So but I learned a lot. Like, and I can tell like the more you want to share the world, the more you will learn.
Yeah, that's true. We're gonna let you share.
Sometime
And
you're next.
Yes. So that's what basically. So here we shared this one. So there was more step, but I was trying to keep it like in 2 hours. So otherwise, like I didn't show the automation with GitHub. So, but next time if. But you can try this code out if you want to play with it. So any question or stop sharing?
No, I don't see anything in the chat. Ben, do you have anything?
Yeah, it's more of a feedback. Thank you as usual. Thank you as usual. And thank you for the iPad. Honestly, it's very useful.
Yeah.
That's kind of like that's how I'm like, okay, I want to let you remember iPad. So if I think iPad, that's it.
Yeah, I've never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
No, but look.
100%.
Yeah.
Any other questions, comments, feedback?
Yeah.
Anybody wants to volunteer for presenting next time? Actually, you can continue presenting. That's okay.
Now the time is up.
I mean, in 2 weeks.
No, in 2 weeks, yeah. So, but no. In 1 month, I will like. In 1 month, the things I want to do is like, I'm gonna make it like more advanced. I'm gonna add like this one. I just add one tool. This is the tool is Terraform. So my next goal is to add Docker and just keep using the same.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah. I'm gonna use the same code, like, but add it a back end and add like add a back end and also add like I want to add it. No, I want to add a back end and something else. Like a chatbot, yes, a chatbot. And but this is really costly. And also to deploy it and with GitHub and roll back. So I'm gonna deploy it and roll back. So that's my next goal in 1 month. But it's gonna be mostly the same thing. So now I will add like Docker and I will add GitHub to trigger this whole pipeline and Jenkins to trigger the pipeline, and it's gonna do everything like automatically. Yes.
Okay.
Looking forward to it.
Okay, so I know I didn't get a chance to share it on the Discord, but maybe for the next session, I'll try to see if I can have maybe 10 minutes and just present different use cases, and then we can probably pick one, unless you want to have the discussion on Discord and select it. Then we can start building these different components.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
Because I really want to see how you can Dockerize an existing application, something that's already working, so I can see, for instance, the difference between the traditional approach and then the Docker approach type of thing.
Just need light. You do your side.
Ben, do you have any other questions? Or Ben, do you have anything?
Yeah, join us on Discord. Like, we're feeling lonely over there.
Okay.
I mean, to finish, I just want to say again, thank you to Achille for presenting today. Yeah, I would say we all learn from doing this, going through this presentation. So congratulations to him it's not an easy topic, like Terraform and all that stuff. So kudos to you. And yeah, again, today's our 1 year. We started that last year. So today's our 1 year, and it turns out that Achille is presenting our 1 year. So thank you, Achille.
Thank you.
Happy anniversary.
Thank
you. Yes. And thank you for the gift card.
Yeah, of course. Deserve it. Yeah. Okay.
Question. Il y a une question. He was the only one who speak.
Yeah.
Non, il n'y a pas une question. Ça va déjà. Merci beaucoup.
De rien. Et à bientôt.
Voilà. Bon week-end.
Bon
weekend.
week-end. Thank you. Bye.
Merci vraiment.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, thanks.
Thank you.
Achille.
Thank you.
All right.